This program is brought to you by the Reeves Law Firm, representing you and your Social Security and disability needs. If you have a problem or questions regarding Social Security and disability, call attorney Anthony Reeves, toll free at 1-888-962-0007. Again, that's 1-888-962-0007. Or go to www.reevesfirm.com.
Welcome to another edition of Q&A Social Security Disability Today. Let's get to your questions. I got a disability hearing coming up, but I'm afraid to go alone. Okay. You've got your hearing date, and you've kind of convinced yourself that you think you can handle it on your own, whether it be for yourself or maybe for your child. Then as you get closer, you start getting really nervous. And so, or even then, let's say you don't get nervous. You go to the hearing, and all of a sudden you're sitting there in this room. Judge sits down, and he says, okay, I'm going to explain to you what's going to happen. And he starts breaking it down. The judge, she starts telling you, okay, with regards to this, is the record complete? And you're like, well, I don't know. Well, did you get the CD? Well, yeah. Did you review it? Well, there's some things that are missing. Well, do you know if they're outstanding? What do you mean by outstanding? Well, did you request those records? I didn't know I was supposed to. Well, you do know Social Security is responsible only up to the point of the recon denial. No, I didn't. Well, did you ask for those records? No, I didn't know I had them. Well, did you get a CD before you got here? Well, I did. I saw it. I didn't know if I needed to do anything. Well, why not? And all of a sudden, now you're starting to have a panic attack because you know there's records out there from your doctors that you didn't get, that you didn't even think to ask for. And then they say, okay, there's a vocational expert in here. You'll have the opportunity to cross-examine them. And you're like, cross who? How? What? Who? So all of a sudden you're having a meltdown right there. Not saying it happens, but it can happen right there in court where you're like freaking out because you don't know anything about examining. You have medical records that are missing. You were reading the records, but some of them you don't understand, and so now you're freaking out. The judge is going to ask you a very nice question. Would you like because one of the things they have to ask before they go through, if you're going by yourself, is do you want a representative or do you waive? Now, when they ask you that, they're telling you, they're giving you one shot. Most times they only give you one free shot. Do you want to go hire somebody? Or do you want to go by yourself and handle this by yourself? If you want to handle it by yourself, waive. That basically means you're waiving your right to have a representative present representing you. So then people start freaking, I don't have any money. And one of the things I tell people is under the regulations, if you've never gotten any benefits and you're just going for the back pay, every case is contingency fee. It's set by law. Congress set this. So there's no special provisions out there. The only way we represent you on these cases is that we don't get paid unless we win the case for you. It's a pure contingency fee. So then what happens is that the judge basically, and sometimes the judges will explain that to you. And they'll say, listen, do you need to find someone? If you are worried that maybe the file is not ready, maybe you're not sure what's going on in there, maybe you start to worry and say, well, wait a minute, my case is so strong in my mind, why do I keep getting denied, and why am I before this judge, and you just having that moment, ask the judge. A lot of times what the judges will do is that she'll tell you, he or she will say, we'll give you a period of time to find a representative, and then we'll reschedule. And this is one of the things that I've said, this is just my own personal belief. Most judges like dealing with attorneys. Why? Because you can look at your file and you're looking at it as for certain things. Representatives, we have clear-cut things we're looking for to let us know where the problem areas are. You could look at a file 100 times and not recognize what the problem area is. We'll look at it once and say, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because you know why? Because we do this on a regular basis. So if you get to yourself in a hearing and you're worried that maybe you're in over your head, ask the judge for the opportunity. Now, let me tell you what I tell people sometimes. Don't mess around and think that you're going to waive your rights to an attorney or a rep or something like that. Go through the hearing and at the end of the hearing say, I changed my mind. I need to have somebody come with me. Judge is probably not going to give you that one. But if you're at the very beginning, and a lot of times they'll ask you a few times. The hearing monitor who comes out there will say something to you. The judge will say something to you because they want to make sure you are fully aware that they want to make sure you're aware and capable to handle your case on your own. If you don't think you are, Ask for time to get a representative. In most cases, they'll give you that time. Again, thank you for joining me for another edition of Q&A Social Security Disability Today. Look forward to seeing you next time.